Good morning, little boo. How's the baby doing? Would you like some treats, little boo? More breakfast treats? Daddy's got to cut the grass pretty soon, so if you want to go outside, you're not going to be too happy about that. Yeah. But it'll look nice when it's done. Even got my lawn mowing shorts on, I guess, what I want to call it. All right, boo, we got extra treats for being such a good baby. Yeah. Brother's coming over later. We're going to play some pinball, huh, little boy? He don't like that either. It's too loud for him. But he'll wander in that room sometimes. Just see what's going on. Here's another one. Oh, it's a little too noisy for his liking, I'm sure. But he'll get used to it. And he does. He'll walk in there, and then when I start playing one of the games, sometimes he'll watch in the closet. But usually once the coils and what have you start firing, he don't like that. Oh, he got, oh no. A little too loud for the baby. Well, you're not gonna get that one? Here, let me try this one. Oh, is he giving up? Does he want to go outside? Do we have to put these out there for you? Oh. Here. There we go. Oh boy. So we got a theme going. Here, let's try this way. There we go. He's like, you gotta be down to my level. A little easier. Do you want the last one for now? Oh, good baby. Yeah. All right, little boo daddy's gotta get going on the lawn now. Oh, what a good baby. Keeping an eye on things for daddy? Oh boy, what's he doing up there? Oh, it's Paw Patrol, isn't it, little boo? Well, daddy's gotta start the grass now, little boo. Yeah. Would you like to handle the weed whipping after I'm done cutting the grass? Oh boy, he's like, first you're gonna cut the grass, and when you're done, I know you're gonna vacuum too, huh, little boo? Well, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes you just gotta clean and tidy things up, little boo. Yeah. I think I'll keep him inside. If he's outside, he's just gonna be all upset with me cutting the grass, so he'll probably take a nice nap inside. I haven't seen one of these friends in a while. It's a walking stick. Hey, buddy. I don't even know where your head is. Let's give it a little wind. I don't know. I guess the head's to the left. Pretty cool animal. I've had the WWF Royal Rumble by Dad Ace for probably 2.5, 3 weeks now. You can see a few changes, biggest one of which is the topper, which I showed in the previous video. There's really not a lot of information, if any, online on how to mount it, so I kind of jerry-rigged it. I got it pretty good, I would say. I'm not going to change it unless somehow a procedure is put out there that's better. I also replaced the back box incandescent lights with the exception of the flashers. I leave the flashers original. I replace the ones that are burned out or gone, and I clean the ones that are existing, but the general illumination are all LED. And I prefer to go with the warm white LED instead of the cool white or the standard white, because this is an older machine and it had 100% incandescent lights originally. And I do keep some of the ones, and I still need to do a detailed cleaning. I still got to go through and do a full shop job. I've already picked away at a lot already. The slingshots here, I leave incandescent lights in there. I might replace them with newer ones. In some areas, I think they just look better. For the lights that are under the inserts and things like that, I always put LED, but if they're exposed, like if you see the bulb, I like to see the glass and the little fire inside and the incandescent. So some of those, I would say probably less than 10%, not including the flashers, are all incandescents, and that also puts less of a strain on the power supply. My brother's coming over soon. We're gonna play this for a while. I also had to repair the tag button. I don't know if you saw it originally. I'll insert a picture of what it used to look like. The factory insert was destroyed, and the button itself, the lens was messed up. So I got another one. I went with yellow, and I used a label maker to make the tag text. I think it looks pretty good. You cannot find original or even the reproduction ones anymore. If one ever becomes available, I'll put it on, but I think the yellow looks good, especially when you have the light, and I'll show you what that looks like. That does have an LED in there, which is why it's so bright, which is fine. I also replaced the coin reject button inserts. One of them on this side was really messed up and the other one was fine, but I wanted to match, so I replaced those. And on the underside they said token, so at one point this was routed. I also need to install a coin door lock, which you can see The Guns N' Roses has one there. I do have it in coin mode right now. It's not in free play, just for fun. Got a little Chuck E. Cheese coin container. It takes quarters, which is kind of cool. I'll go ahead and demonstrate. Take the tag. This thing yells at you a lot. Yeah! See? Kind of yells at you when you go through the different steps. But there's a lot more I've gone through. I'll kind of maybe go into that in another video, but a lot of it you can't really see. But rebuilt these two flippers. The two upper playfield flippers, I did a partial rebuild. And that's pretty much all those needed. But there's a few other things that need some TLC, but it's absolutely playable and a really fun game. These two machines complement each other pretty well because they play vastly different from one another. The Guns N' Roses machine definitely looks a lot nicer, but it's also pretty new. And I gotta say, so far, this one I think shoots a little better. The shots are a little more rewarding, but it could just be because it's more of a classic 90s machine, which I prefer. I also added a longer power cable, and the other one had an issue with the ground. It was still functional, but it was half snapped and really bent up, so for a safety reason, and I also wanted a longer cable, I replaced that. And there's a few other things under the playfield that I had to address. A few little touch-ups here and there. I touched up the cabinet, still got to do some touch-up in the rear that you can't really see, so that's a low priority. There's a few other things I found. Somebody had tried touching it up with a Sharpie, which looks terrible, so I removed that and touched it up with a proper paint that matches the cabinet. Like a lot of things, when they've been around for a while, there's been a couple little hack jobs, most of which were under the playfield that I addressed. Just exposed wires, things that weren't put together so well, things that were just cracked and ignored too, and then you always want to address those before they get any worse. What's annoying about this machine is the plastics. I have a couple that are cracked and bent. The bent one I'll have to take care to fix, but the cracked ones, thankfully, I'm able to source replacements. But a lot of these plastics you see, with the exception of the two slingshot plastics here, and some of these outlaid ones are impossible to find unless you find a donor machine, which is more or less out of the question, at least for most people. So you have to be a little careful, whereas this is a newer machine, so you can buy entire plastic kits, and the manufacturer still exists. Data East was Stern Electronics. I believe this was probably the late 70s, early 80s. Stern Electronics sold their pinball division to Data East. Data East made several machines, and then later the Data East pinball division was sold to Sega, and then Sega sold their pinball division back to Stern. So they're all more or less Stern machines, which is kind of cool. And some people regard the Data East machines a little bit as the ugly duckling, just a little bit cheaper than the Bally Williams, which at the time were very, very nice machines. Eventually I'd like to get one to go with the collection of 3, and I'll probably put it right next to GNR. And that's probably where my collection will end, because, well, you run out of room and run out of money because these are not cheap. I've replaced the leg bolts. They were a little nasty, and it's really cheap to replace them. It's really easy to do too. And like I mentioned before, a lot of cabinet touch-up. Pretty cool though. It's really not that difficult to work on, and there's a lot of people you can ask for help. Some people are turned off by the theme. It's very macho. I mean, they're all ridiculous, even Guns N' Roses, but it's pinball. It's fun, and it's something I enjoy. I'm not buying these to invest in them. I'm buying them just to have fun and work on them and maintain them. And so far, this one's actually been a little easier to work on, which is nice. For the most part. I'm gonna really have to tear into it when I do the upper playfield removal, just to replace some of the lamps and fix some of the plastics and things like that. But once I get that done and get everything cleaned up, it's pretty much gonna be ready to go. And what's also cool is because this is electronically far simpler than this one, when you turn this one on, when it's completely dead, you turn it on, it takes about 5 seconds to boot up and be ready to play. Whereas this one's essentially a computer and like a small PLC network, all that wonderful stuff. So this one takes probably 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds to boot up. Hello.
What up? Hulk Hogan is dead.
Yes, he is.
See that coffin right there?
Oh no.
That was not an accident.
Yeah, I remember the guy bought it from, asked if I bought it because he died. I said, no, it's kind of a coincidence. It was like the week of, or maybe a week after.
This pinball's, they're what, 30 years old?
I was built in '94, so yeah, it's over, a little over 30 years old. A little younger than me. The glass has a lot more glare than the Guns N' Roses because it's just standard glass, whereas this is the, what do they call it? This, the ghost or Invisiglass, I think.
This Cinnabon, play this when you're at work.
This one's a little too noisy for him, and I'm not sure if his arms could reach that wide.
Look at this little playfield up there.
The mini playfield. That's a big glare. That's my favorite feature of the whole game, though.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's like a mini pinball machine inside the pinball machine.
Yeah, bro.
Plays the intro too. Hulk Hogan.
That was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yeah, he would carry a 2x4 and you'd beat people with it.
That's crazy. Sounds
Yeah,
like
bro. He's still alive, I think.
Are most of these players dead? Performers or
Well, like Macho Man is Yokozuna. I think he's dead.
probably is. He's a
The big guy.
Trump.
But
Excuse me,
I don't know. There's a WWF arcade game like late '80s, and a lot of the people on that are dead.
Maybe that's
They die young of heart attacks.
That's too bad.
Heart failure.
And rubbing steroid use
Killing their family and themselves.
That happens too.
Macho Man died of a heart attack too.
He was driving, wasn't he, in his Jeep or something?
I don't know.
That's too bad.
It doesn't matter. He was in Spider-Man.
That's right.
He was Bonesaw.
Bonesaw, I remember that.
Yeah, bro.
Balls.
Oh.
There we go. That's a pretty forgiving ball save.
It does?
This one does, yeah. Maybe a little better than GNR. I like the music. I like the heavy bass.
Hulk Hogan's last appearance in the WWE was him in Los Angeles being booed.
Really?
I almost said boobs. As I was zooming in. Well, I mean, you know, it's kind of, maybe it's political. Maybe it's Hulk Hogan, what he did back in the day with some things that aren't very friendly toward a certain group of people. He was saying some racist things.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And then, you know, he endorsed Trump. And he's in Los Angeles, you know what I mean? So he got booed. His last ever appearance. Hilarious. I mean, that's not.
Is it better than Ozzy's last performance?
Oh man, Ozzy went out with a bang. You know what I mean? Everyone loved him. Hulk Hogan, just a little controversial, you
At
know.
least he died doing what he loves. Maybe.
Who?
Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, that. Huh. Did you know Hulk Hogan had a Dodge Viper?
Yeah, he picked up Brooke in elementary with a yellow one.
Oh really?
Yeah, somebody-
It sold for charity a couple years ago.
Oh, he got rid of it? It was
Yeah,
a Gen
it's-
1?
Yeah, RT10. Yeah, it was kind of pimped out. Yeah, it's he sold it. It's on YouTube. The auction. It went for like 75,000 charity
More
auction.
than it usually would be.
Yeah, way more.
It's a hard shot to get.
Macho
from
Man.
one flipper and lose.
Look at this clown. I don't remember the clown.
I think I don't forget Chris. He's in the game.
See the guy on the right, Vince McMahon, by the shoot again thing, by the right flipper. That guy was nuts back in the day. And he kind of got in hot water in the last couple of years. He used to be CEO, but not anymore.
Oh, that
Kind of got forced out.
creepy looking.
He kind of got forced out. There is some. He had some sexual episodes with some of his coworkers, younger coworkers.
Which one? The one on the right or left?
He's kind of a sexual deviant. The one on the right.
Okay. They both look a little creepy based on the illustration, but.
He was hilarious. I remember one time in 2007, at the end of a WWE Raw episode, Vince McMahon went inside of a limo, and the limo blew up.
Is he dead? Or did that kill him?
Well, it was his presumed death. The WWE writers wanted to go with a storyline of Vince McMahon died. DX killed him. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, who is now a big part of the leadership at WWE.
Sounds like a mafia kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, right? And that was the whole storyline until shortly after Chris Benoit died,
Yeah.
and along with his whole family. And so they canceled that storyline. And then so like the next week on Raw, it was Vince McMahon. And like in the ring, he's supposed to be dead. Instead, he's saying another wrestler is dead. So I was like, what? I was like, what in the world?
And then trying to make it seem like a real murder, or was it like?
Yeah, it was
So
like.
it was fake.
Yeah, it was. And if you're a kid, you're like, he just went in a limo and it blew up. Like,
So it was so the adults understood what was going on.
they probably did, but at the same time, I mean, it still got attention from the news media. They said, you know, his presumed death. And and then Vince McMahon started out saying that, hey, this week we were supposed to continue the storyline of my death. However, in reality, and then he said Chris Benoit, his kid Daniel, and his wife Nancy are all dead. I'm like, dude, this is legit, bruh. And then later, like the next day, on Tuesday, it was like known that, you know, Chris Benoit killed his whole family and then himself. And then so the next that's when ECW was another WWE brand that WWE bought. And Vince McMahon, he said it's now apparent like what exactly happened.
That's
So,
crazy.
So they said there won't be any more mention of Chris Benoit.
Wow.
But nowadays, you hear about him every now and then. Benoit in WWE,
Got a match.
But it's very rare. They don't want to talk about him.
I could see there's obviously a
I used to
tremendous
have
amount
Chris
of
Benoit's
negativity
autograph.
around that. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, but my friend thought it was fake and he ripped it
No! My brother just took off and it is pouring. Look at how muddy it is over there. Little Cinnabon is stuck out in the rain, so we'll have to wait for him. I've called for him many times, but sometimes when he comes back, then this will be remarkably dry, so maybe he found a good place to hunker down. And when the rain lets up, he'll come on over. Yeah, it's storming. There he is, my goodness. Oh, look like you got little wings, little boo. Oh, he smells the vacuum cleaner. Oh no, little boo, we're gonna have to towel off the little baby. We'll have to towel you off. You don't like that though. Oh no. Look at his little muddy footprints. Oh boy. Actually, we'll let him just air dry. He gets mad in the towel. All right, boo. Oh boy. I think he'll be all right, little boo, would you like to get a post being absolutely drenched treat time? Okay, good. Now we'll relax. You deserve it after being out in that rain, my friend. That's crazy. You're crazy, kitty. You got soaked out there. At least you got a free shower. Aw. His tail's a little dirty. We'll let him dry off a little bit more. Oh, yeah. I don't think we'll need to get the hair dryer out. Oh. Here's another for the baby. Oh, the baby. Yes, he is. After air drying, you feel pretty smooth, don't you, little boo? Oh. Anywho, thank you everybody for watching. We hope you're doing well, and we'll talk to you next time. You want to say bye-bye? Oh, how nice. Oh, thanks for washing my leg, little boo. It must be dirty. Oh, I guess, well, I was working in the garage for a bit today. Mm-hmm. I could have used to help her, little boo, but you must have been busy. That's okay. I almost forgot to show off the Hulk Hogan autographed trading card. My brother brought some cases and protective film for it, which is really cool. I want to show you a cool feature with this pinball machine. Some of the ink on the playfield is UV reactive, which happens to be reactive to this neon light I have. So you can kind of see, we got the oranges, and especially the green. Looks like some of the pink are reactive to UV. A lot of people will put UV LEDs in the clown here too. That's cool. Looks like that guy's pants. But when the machine's on, you don't notice as much because the other light drowns it out. I think it looks pretty cool like that. I think we'll just stick with the neon light for now, though, a little bit long. Yeah, we don't need that UV because the neon has a little bit. It makes it pop just enough. All right. Night, night, little boo. Sweet dreams. Oh. Gotta wash themselves first. Okay. Fair enough.